Okay, so he's done some nice work this morning as well. He's written a bit more. You've written a bit more for your book, haven't you? You wanted to. Yes, that was good because we haven't really been able to do that for a while because he's not been feeling so good.
No, he looks good today.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah, so Karen sent me through some information, which was a bit of history that you might not have heard about before. So it's a bit of HISTO, finish it up. And what? A bit of history that you might not have heard before because it's not a commonly known story. This story is about a man called Ziryab, and I don't know if that's pronounced correctly or not. Z-I-R-Y-A-B, Ziryab. And Ziryab was a slave. The story is called Ziryab, the slave who changed the world. So Ziryab was a S-O-L. Oh, keep yourself awake. A-B and all the way up. He was a slave. And what is a slave? What does it mean to be a slave? Why? Come on. Why? Oh. You. If you are a slave, you try your pencil. R E, you are. Go on. You are. O W. Can you get it? You are O W N. Oh yes. E D. You are owned. If you are a slave, you are owned. Any more? Oh. B. By. S. Yeah, you are. Go on. O. M. O. E. By some. O. N. And all the way up. Go on. Some. O. M. Itching. There. Touch the E. It must be E. You're owned by some. One. Yes, you are owned by someone. When you're talking about slaves, that's someone. Oh, Chris, I can see you picking on that. Here, I said I should file that, didn't I? And I forgot earlier. Let's just file off that rough bit before you bite it too short. A little interlude to groove your nose. There we are. So what I was going to ask you, so when we talk about slaves, you say that you're owned by someone. That someone would be known as the, think of the word that they would be known as. Oh, that's much better. There. They would be known as the what? The M, oh yes, A, S, yes, you're right. T, E, and the master. Yes, you would always, the person that owns the slave would be known as the master. So let's just get back to this story. Ziryab wasn't his real name. His real name was this weird thing, again, more Abu al-Hassan. And Ziryab was kind of like a nickname. I wonder if you know of any other one. Do you know of any famous people maybe who are known by one name, but that is not their real name? Can you think of any examples? No, you can't think of any examples. Well, I can think of one that just springs to mind. Have you ever heard of the boxer Mohammed Ali? Have you heard of him? Why? Go on then. Yes. But did you know that Mohammed Ali was not his original name? His original name, guess what it was? It was Cassius Clay. It sounds nothing like Mohammed Ali, does it? It doesn't sound as grand or anything. Why do you think that? What possible reasons could there be for him changing his name? Is I. Go on, keep it going. Is it T-O? Is it to? Come on. Well, you're still fussing over that, aren't you? Let's find out a bit more. I thought I'd done it enough. It needed some more. Not going to be able to concentrate until such time. Yeah. Right, so is it to do? Is it to do? Go on then. W I. Go on. T H. Is it to do with? R E. Keep it going. R E. Always finish your word. L I G I and O and N. Is it to do with religion? Do you know what? I didn't know you'd know this, but it's a really good guess, that one. You're spot on with Muhammad Ali, because he converted to Islam and changed his name from Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali. So it wasn't really Muhammad Ali wasn't really a nickname, but it was just an example of a change of name. But there's all sorts of people that are in the public eye. Can you think of any, Karen, that aren't known by the real name?
I don't think Cilla Black was her real name, was it? But I can't think what it was.
I think it might have been something like Priscilla White.
Yeah, and then I was thinking, no, I can't be right.
Yeah. There are, but you know, sometimes if they're like a pop star or something, like, you know, you need to have a name that's got more of a ring to it, don't you? You know,
Yeah.
your real name isn't, you know, Jane Smith doesn't exactly, you know, have the same ring to it as Madonna does, you know. So anyway, yeah. So and he was nicknamed Ziryab, and this Ziryab, that nickname means blackbird. Blackbird. Why would someone have a nickname called Blackbird? Any guesses? I, if, T, go on, H, go on. If T, H, you don't need to do that. If T, H, E, Y, if they, S, oh, I, N, G. Oh, they might be called a blackbird. If they sing. Oh, yes, because the blackbirds sing, don't they? Yeah. And actually, that was part of it. He was nicknamed Blackbird because of the sweetness of his voice and also because he had a dark complexion. So, let's just find out a little bit more about him. He was born in Persia. Persia, just for practice. P-E, come on. R-S, I and A. Do you know where the equivalent of Persia would be as a modern day country? Because it doesn't exist anymore, does it? And it's okay if you tell me now. I just wondered. Do you know where Persia might be? I, R, A, Iran. Very good, yes. Let's have a look. Here we are. Here's a little map of the world. Now then, in the pink is Iran, where Persia is. And where's the United Kingdom? Yeah, where do you live? Can you see where the United Kingdom is in relation to Iran? I'll help you because it's quite a small map. So yeah, that's it. See, United Kingdom. You have to look really closely. So there's the United Kingdom. Where's America? The United States. That would be over here. That's there. There's America. And South America is this bit on the bottom. Touch that. Touch South America there. There's Africa. Yeah. There's Russia up there. And India down there. There we are. So that's where he was born in 789 AD. And when he was born, the town was called, or where he lived, the town was called Baghdad, and this Baghdad is still around today. But at that time, listen to this, at that time, Baghdad was the world centre for culture, art and science. Culture, art and science. When you think of Baghdad nowadays, do you think of it as being a really cultured place? No, neither do I, because yeah, I'm showing my ignorance really, I suppose, but Baghdad to me, all I can think of was the war.
No, that's what springs to mind as soon as I hear the word.
You don't think of culture. So if I was to say to you, Chris, you know, if you were to think of a cultured country or a cultured city, what might spring to mind to you? Either a country or a city, doesn't matter. I, T, oh yes, A, I-T-A, go on. L and Italy. Oh yes, Italy. That's somewhere that I think of as being very cultured. Could you tell me the name of any cities in Italy? Well, I know you can. City in Italy where there's lots of culture would be R, O, M, and after the M, next letter, Rome. Oh yes. very cultured and full of history. Actually, there was some sort of a survey done, and in terms of today, if we were to rank countries in terms of culture and who people perceive to be world leaders, Italy comes first, number one, then France, then Spain, then the US, and then the UK. So we are in there somewhere. Yeah. But when we think about culture, what it often means is that, you know, it says that cultural influence is synonymous with fine food, fashion, and easy living. They're trendsetters. So countries that influence other countries, music, television, and movies are absorbed by other cultures. So it's not just history. It can be something more modern, like U S I and C, something more modern, like music. Okay, so get back to the story. So the ruler, come on, back down. The ruler in Baghdad at that time loved his music, thought he was ever so cultured, and he loved his music. And this slave, Ziryab, he was a very good musician, and he spent all his days playing and singing songs for this leader. He was very, very impressed by him. And one day the leader called him to him and asked him what songs he would sing. Now listen to what he said. He replied, I can sing what the other singers know, so I can sing anyone's song. He said, but if your majesty permits, I'll sing for you what human ears have never heard before. What would you choose if you were the majesty? Would you choose to hear songs that had been sung before, or would you choose what human ears have never heard before? T H E C S E C. After the C, next letter, oh, just touch the C again. C O N D. The second one would be good. Just do O N E. The second one. Yes, I think I would as well, because you'd be intrigued, wouldn't you? Oh, I wonder what he's going to do. What do you think that he did do? What do you think? So Her Majesty says, "Oh yes, I'll have what human ears never heard before." What do you think he did? N E W U S O N G and S. New songs, yeah. They were probably his own compositions, and he made up these new songs. Just out of interest, Chris, what sort of songs do you like? What's your preference? Do you like classical, opera, modern pop songs, folk songs? Yeah, I know Chris used to do quite a bit about music with you. Have you any preference to the sort of music that you like? M O. Go on, after the O, always tell yourself next letter. M O. Try the pencil. D. There we are. E. R. M. Modern. Ah, that's good. You like to be trendy. But even in modern songs, there's lots of variation, isn't there? There's like rap, there's, I don't know, like guitar-y stuff. It's so dramatic to me. Is there any particular musician or pop group or that springs to mind? Oh, big yawn. Anyone in particular? E. ED. S. Oh, that would be good. There you go. EDS. H. E. E. Where are you going? There it is. R. All the way up if you want the A. A. Got to be if you're spelling Ed Sheeran. I didn't even know you liked Ed Sheeran. Catherine can't stand him.
Oh, I liked it.
She won't be very happy when she hears you like Ed Sheeran. She says everything sounds the same now from Ed Sheeran. He was good when he first came out, but now it all sounds the same. Anyway, there we go. Anyway, so Ziryab impressed this ruler, but guess what? Ziryab's music teacher got incredibly jealous and thought, oh my God, I'm going to be out of a job because he likes him better than me. So he basically said to poor Ziryab, you've got to go and leave Baghdad forever. He paid him off, gave him some money to go somewhere else. So just quickly, the leader, the ruler, was very impressed by Ziryab. Can you tell me anything that impresses you? Anything that impresses you or someone? Something or someone that impresses you would be the job. E. L. I. Y. Just the I again. I. Go out the next letter after the I. S. E-L-I-S. The job. A. After A. Is that B or C? Yeah, use the pencil. Oh, that wasn't clear. So touch the A, B, E, okay, T, and H. Elis. So you did an S there. So you did Leisabeth. I wonder whether you mean Elizabeth with a Z. Elizabeth. Are you thinking about the Queen, maybe? I'm just guessing. Sit down and tell me. Maybe you're thinking about our Queen, Queen Elizabeth. Is that what you were thinking? Or are you thinking Elizabeth someone else? I don't know. So if it was the Queen, you can say yes, or you can say no. Yes, it was the Queen. Why does the Queen impress you? S. H. Keep it going. She. I. Keep it going. Lift your elbow. She is. A. N. Anne. Come on. Oh, don't eat it. Not going to taste nice. She is Anne. I. N. C. Come on. INC. New position, INC. Push, you're waving, go straight to the letter. R, E, go on, keep it going, next letter, D, next letter, I, B, L, an incredible, L, A, D, and all the way down, Y. Oh, so it is the Queen. She is an incredible lady. She is. She just keeps going and going and going in her 90s, and she's still working hard and very knowledgeable, and everyone around the world holds her in really high esteem. Anyone who impresses you, Karen?
I was going to say people like athletes who, you know, strive to sort of a perfection, you know, people who strive to do things. And
yeah,
I don't particularly know any famous athletes, but just as a generalisation.
Yeah. Okay, come on then, because they have to work so hard, don't they, and become such experts in their particular field. So anyway, so impressing this master, you know, was a bit of a double-edged sword, really, because it was good that he impressed him, but then, as I said, his teacher got so jealous that he sent him away, but he paid him off. And anyway, he travelled through bits of the Middle East and Africa, and he built up a reputation for himself as a good musician, and his final destination was Spain. Let's have a look. See if you can find Spain on the map. There. So let's draw a line from Baghdad in there, across to Spain. Oh, I needed to stop it there. That's where he ended up. Oh, and he did go through Africa as well. What, do you need a wee? Go on then. I'll just pause this. There you are. See how good your handwriting is today. Let's have a go at writing Spain. That's where we ended up going to. So the S is like a snake, isn't it? That sort of, like that. Go on. Oh, that was a big S, but we've done it. Now the P will be down and round. Okay, so do a, oh, no, you're going to go down first. Do the down, and now we're going to do just a loop. Wait, don't rush it. P, oh, that was good. Now we're going to do a circle and a line for the A. So think about circle, circle. Think about the movement. That's good. And a line down the side. So the line is that way, isn't it? Just a line down the side of the A. Oh, not another circle. Line, see? Then we do another line for the I. Go on. The line for the I. Just a line down, straight down, like that. Put the dot on the top. Okay, and then we're going to do a line down, and we have to go back up and round. So we go down, back up, and oh, very nice.
Oh, lovely. Very good, Chris. Good try.
Nice handwriting today, that one, I like that. Okay, so in Spain, oh, there's a region in Spain that is called Cordova. I like that name, Cordova. And in Cordova, the leader there was eager for culture to flourish. So he was welcomed, Ziryab was welcomed with open arms, and he was paid to become this musician there. And he was paid well. In fact, he was paid so well that eventually he became a prosperous member of the upper class. Now this is interesting. What does prosperous mean? Give me another word for prosperous. Another word for prosperous. Oh, you have to lift your elbow. Another word for prosperous. S-U-C. Yes, you're right. S-U-C-E-S-S-L. Another word for prosperous would be successful. Yeah, very good. So, in today's society, can you think of anyone that you would call prosperous, successful? In today's world, anyone that you can think of? A. Oh, you have to lift your arm. You have to lift your arm. Start again. A. L. A. Alan. S. And S. Go on. This is a good example if it's what I think it is. Can't think of any other Alan S's. I can only think of one Alan S. Can you think of one?
To my mind.
It's very famous, isn't it? S-U. S-U-G-A and Alan Sugar. Yes. Alan Sugar. In fact, he's now a Sir, isn't he? He's Sir Alan Sugar. Yes, he's become very successful. And in some ways, you know, his story, I suppose, is similar to this slave, because he started off just as like a market trader. He didn't have a good education particularly, he didn't have many qualifications, but he worked hard what he was good at, and he became very successful and, you know, a multi-millionaire in the end.
Yeah, like the same as Richard Branson. He was the same, wasn't he? Not a very good education and then built it up. Very prosperous people.
It doesn't matter where you start. But what I'd like just to take this, just have a little bit of a discussion about class, because we've said that the slave became a prosperous member of the upper class. I don't know what, I don't know how much we've discussed this before, Chris, but what classes are, what sort of classifications are there in the UK or of people in general? Do you know? Do you know? Oh, lift your elbow. L O W, low. Yes. There is the, what they call the lower class. Then there's just give you some examples. Come on. Then there's the I, lift your elbow. D, L, and E. Yeah, the middle class. And then we've already just mentioned the upper class. Upper class. Have you any idea what sort of people then would you find in the? I mean, they're very broad categorizations, and I think, just thinking about it, I think we might do we might do another session on this, about the sort of the class system in
interesting.
the UK, because there's all sorts of other bits now, but just broadly speaking, what sort of people would be in the lower class? U N E M P P. P, next letter. That's right, you were there. You were there. On M, use a pencil. Oh. P, L. After the L, O. After the O. And P, touch the O again because you just seem to be wandering a bit. O. Got itchy nose, I think. If that nose is blow, that's distracting you. Bit of a blow. Blow. That's better. That was distracting you, I think. So you've done lower class would be U, N, E, M, P. Go after the P. P, L. Oh. A. Oh. Go after the L. Do the L again. P, L. Come on. You know what you're trying to say. L. O. All the way down. Come on. Touch the Y, not the X. Y, you were one off. Then the E, you're one up again, and the D. Okay, and I can tell you're getting tired. So the unemployed would be in the lower class. And I would say not just the unemployed, but like the long-term unemployed who have got low incomes. People on low incomes, unemployed, maybe in the lower class. Middle class would be people like us, I think. Although I don't know, some people might categorise us as upper class. I don't really know now. Do you, Karen?
I don't know sort of where you fall particularly. It's quite interesting when you say, oh, there's lots to sort of learn about, because I don't know. I mean, originally I would put myself middle class, but if people say you're both working and you know, and all these things, do you then become?
Yeah, I think they created another category, didn't they? Which we can look at in another session. I think there is like upper middle class and lower middle class. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So maybe, you know, we're in there. And then the upper class are the sort of the really wealthy people, no money problems, you know, top of the professions, etc. So what do you think? Is it right that we should categorise people in these sort of classes? Do you think, is it right that we should have these categories? Use that. D. O. N. U-N. T. I don't. L. Okay, after the L, always tell yourself next letter. I. Oh, hang on. K. I don't like. Oh, dropped it. I. I don't like it. I don't like it. You don't like the idea of people being categorised into classes. Well, I can understand that, but I suppose it depends, Chris, on how you use it, what you're using the information for. Sometimes it can be useful to create categories so that you can analyse information and see if, you know, particular problems are faced by particular people, and in order to do that you have to be able to somehow categorize them into groups, because then you can come up with solutions tailored towards that group. So there can be good reasons for doing it. Okay, so let's just get back down to this story. So anyway, so this slave, he became this prosperous member of the upper class, and this just sounds a bit really crazy, but he was responsible for introducing all these new things to these upper classes in Spain at that time. And some of the new things that he was responsible for introducing were things like personal grooming. When I talk about personal grooming, what do I mean? Things like W-A-S-H-I-N-G washing, A-N-D washing, and oh, my hands walking in bed. Write that down. Washing, and what do we do every day to keep it looking good? Washing and S-H-A-B. Oh, that was a G. I. Next letter after the I. G. I can see you're getting a little bit tired. Washing and shaving. So we'll just talk a little bit more. Maybe show you the picture. Yes, you know, in those days, the men in particular, they didn't bother with shaving. But look, here's a picture of him. And even though he's got a beard, actually you can see that it's a very tidy beard. It's not an untidy one. Have a look. Can you touch his beard? There. And I'd like to show you something else on the picture. Look at this. This is the instrument that he played. Touch it. Actually, looks a little bit like a guitar, but it's got like a funny shape to it. Let's have a go at drawing that. Down you come. Down you come. It's called a lute. L-U-T-E. Look.
Yeah.
Look, I know. We'll do this first, and then we'll do it. So you've got a line there. Okay. Now I want you to draw a line underneath. You'll draw on the same there. That's it. Very good. Now I'll do my bit. Then, instead of it being flat, you've got this big sort of bulge underneath like that. See if you can do that. I'll put a dot there and a dot there. If you can do a bulge and it. So we're just doing a loop. Dot at this dot. Let me show you the movement. Like that. Okay, start there. Oh, oh, go. Hold it firmly. Go. Oh, that's the line again. Now we're going to do the loop. Going to do the loop. Oh, that's better. Oh, yes, there's the loop. See, so there. On the lute, there would be strings like on a guitar. See? There's got to be a little bit of a hole there. So when you play the strings, it would make more of a sort of an echoey sound, I imagine, because of that sort of bass bit there. Do you like to draw some more strings on your lute? Just drawing some lines down like that, stop there. Oh, very good. And another one we'll draw on. There, very nice. There we go. So we just did a couple of loops.
Good.
There. And this was the picture that we saw it on. There he is. There. So I don't think I've ever heard a lute, if I'm truthful. Have you ever heard one, Karen?
Oh, I don't think so.
No, I'd be interested now. I'll have to Google it and see if there's anyone playing a lute to see how it sounds.
Must be a different sound with that big bulbous sort of underneath, mustn't it?
Yeah. So look. So yes. So he started introducing. I mean, that picture, he had a beard on, but he did actually shave the beard all the way off, so he was clean shaven. He started off that trend, and that was imitated by many Europeans. What else did he do? Personal hygiene. He started using a deodorant. He started cleaning his teeth. And he even started eating a little bit differently. He started eating in 3 separate courses. So when you go to a restaurant or a cafe, they often have 3-course meals. The first course would be called a STAR. Yeah, the first course would be called a starter. And you might have something like soup for a starter. That would be a good one. Second course would be called your, begins with an M, A, I, N. The second course would be called your main meal. You might have steak and chips, or chicken, something like that. And the third course would be your D, E, S, S, all the way up to E, R, and T. The third course would be your dessert, and you might have some fruit for dessert, or you might have like a cake or ice cream or something like that. If you were going to choose fruit for a dessert, what would you choose? S, T, R, A, W, B, E, R, R. Oh, that was N. Go for the I, E, and S. Strawberries. Yeah, I like strawberries. What would your dessert be, Karen?
Oh, I'm not actually a dessert person, a bit like Chris. I think I'd choose something quite light, probably, I don't know, like a lemon mousse or something. Something fruity, probably.
Yeah. So really, Danica, let's just finish your answer. Really, this is, this unknown slave helped to inspire what was known as Spain's golden age, but it was more that it took root all over Europe and changed all of our sort of traditions and the way that we did things. I didn't know this place Cordova, where he'd moved to, was once the premier city of the Western world. It was the greatest metropolis west of Constantinople and the seat of Europe's first university. So I think I must go and visit Cordova. Do you think Cordova would be quite cultured or not? Why? Yes, I'm sure if we looked on TripAdvisor or whatever, we'd see maybe in Cordova there'd be some quite interesting historical places to look at if it had such a major role in history. And yet I never knew that. So just back to the story then. What does this tell you about your? Oh, sorry, you wanted to say something. Sorry. I, H, A, D. I had N, O, T. I have not. Who's that? Oh, that's the light. Oh, okay. I have not. H. Here we go. E, A, R. After the R. Touch the R again. It like this. Touch the try R and then straight to the letter. I have not heard. I have not heard. When you're ready, you go back down. You go back down just to finish. O, R, C, O, R, O, R. Do you mean Cordova? If you do, go for the D. D, straight to the O. O, no, D, O, D, O, B, A. I had not heard of Cordova. E, I, T, H, straight to it. E. Oh, I had not heard of Cordova either. Thank you for joining in the conversation. Cordova. No, it's not well known at all. So just in summary, we'll just finish off now because I can see you're a bit tired. What does this story kind of overall tell you? Is there any sort of a moral to the story or anything that you would sort of take from it? Anything to take from the story? I, T, it, D, O. Lift your elbow. E, S. Go straight to the letter, Chris. N. None of this. I don't like that. N. T. It doesn't. M. A. T. T. E. R. It doesn't matter. I want you to really focus. None of this going like that with your finger, because that doesn't help. Just waste your energy. It doesn't matter. Oops. It doesn't matter. Lift your elbow. I, if, Y, O, if you, H, A, H, A, straight to the next letter, touch the A again, go on, A, go on, no, you've just broken off again, keep that below, touch the A, next letter, right, go from the H, A, B, E, it doesn't matter. If you have, that was much better. See, you did it, focus. If you have, lift the elbow, sit up, get in a good posture. A, B, straight to the next letter. You're wondering again, you went down to Y, touch the B again. B, A, good. D, S, T, A, R, T, I. This is good. Keep the next letter. N. Go on. L. I. F. E. That was great. Doesn't matter if you have a bad start in life. Any more? Any more? Go on. Why? Why? Touch the Y again. We've got to go straight to the next letter. Y. O. U. Next letter. C. Straight to it. A. N. Good. Keep it going. S. T. Next letter. Straight to it. I. Go on. L. L. You can still B. E. C. O. Straight to it. Straight to it. M. Next letter, next letter, next letter. E. You can still become S. Come on. Next letter. O. M. Next letter. E. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. B. O. D and Y. You can still become somebody. Right. Doesn't matter if you have a bad start in life, you can still become somebody. Yeah, you're quite right. Anybody can. Okay, I can see that he's
could tell he got tired.
A bit tired now, yeah. So we'll stop it there. You did really well, Chris. I'm really proud of you.